I want to talk about the best trade deadline acquisition ever. Now, I know what you just said. You just said CC Sabathia, and you're right. He's the best one-time trade deadline acquisition ever. But I set out to find someone who was traded or otherwise acquired around the trade deadline multiple times and who had success each time. And that led me to someone who I believe to possibly be the best trade deadline acquisition ever. Glenallen Hill. Now, if that name is familiar to you, it may be because he's an elite pull for the Angels or Mariners on Immaculate Grid, or it's because he's responsible for one of the most absolutely insane piss missiles of all time. Yeah, that ball landed on top of the rooftop across the street from Wrigley Field.
Across the street, I have never seen that. On top of the building. Even he admired that shot.
Anyway, let's get into some back of the baseball card stuff. Glenallen Hill was a 9th round pick by the Blue Jays out of Santa Cruz High School in 1983. He steadily ascended the Toronto minor league system, every year showing intriguing power and speed, albeit with a lot of swing and miss in his game. Spoiler alert, while the speed came and went in his big league career, the power would stick around. You're smart, you saw the dinger highlight already. Hill made his big league debut in 1989 and spent his time north of the border being a slightly below average hitter by OPS standards. He was traded for the first time in 1991 to Cleveland, and for my own selfish purposes, I'm not classifying this as a deadline deal. It was June 27, I'm splitting hairs here to benefit the case I'm making, but hey, it's my video. His Cleveland career was pretty similar to his Toronto career, although it was admittedly dragged down by his 1993 season, which is what led to him being traded to the Cubs in August of that year. Oh yeah, if you're a more recent baseball fan, you used to be able to trade guys up until August 31st if you passed them through waivers first. He was traded for Candy Maldonado, a veteran outfielder who was having a rough year, but admittedly also picked it up a bit at the plate after getting moved to Cleveland. But not like Glenallen Hill did in the Windy City. See, Glenallen was always a good hitter when playing on the north side, but those 31 games at the end of the 1993 season were magic. I mean, look at that OPS plus. And he hit well enough in 94 to get a 3-year deal with the Giants, where he kept being a productive player. After his Giants tenure, he signed with Seattle for the 98 season and did hit well there, but they waived him in July. See, Hill wasn't a good defender. Just going off Baseball Reference D-WAR, he was pretty consistently bad in the field, and I know I'm showing you his defensive highlights, but in fact, he never had a year with a positive D-WAR. So, Seattle waived him and replaced him in left field with rookie Shane Monahan. This was the only time Monahan would get regular starts in his big league career. And, well, he wasn't a negative defender in left, it's just that his OPS plus was 60. Pretty big offensive trade-off there, but hey, when you already have Hall of Famer Edgar Martinez at DH, so you can't move Glenallen there, and a 34-47 record on July 1st, I suppose I can understand wanting to bolster defense and give a shot to a younger guy in a lost season. Seattle's voluntary loss in this case was the Cubs' gain. In 48 games, Hill tore the cover off the ball to the tune of a 154 OPS plus and helped the Cubs make the playoffs. I don't know what it was about playing in Chicago, but Hill just always hit well there. Glenallen was traded mid-season for the final time in his career 2 years later in 2000, wrapping up his time with the Cubs. He was dealt on July 21st of that year for Ben Ford and Oswaldo Morena, two players that ended up being non-factors for Chicago. Glenallen, however, would start tearing the cover off the ball again after trading his pinstripes in for, well, darker pinstripes. The Yankees in 2000 had won 2 consecutive World Series, and that July had further bolstered their already formidable lineup with the acquisitions of Hill and fellow slugger David Justice. Used mostly as a platoon bat against lefties, Glenallen exploded with 16 homers in just 40 games for New York. His August was particularly notable, hitting 10 home runs and having an OPS north of 1,300. Glenallen would win a World Series during that year as the Yankees defeated the Mets in 5 games in the Subway Series, and he'd wrap up his career with a less than stellar stint in Anaheim the following season. But back to the whole point of this video. Glenallen was a good player even when he wasn't being acquired in July. 1995, he had 24 home runs, 25 stolen bases. 1999, had a 934 OPS, 20 home runs in just 99 games played, 278 plate appearances. I mean, he was a useful player, but the best periods of his career came when he was acquired in July. Every single time. 93, 98, 2000. Every single time he joined a new team in July, he turned into one of the best hitters I've ever seen. Just look at this man's stats whenever he was acquired in July or later. Let those OPSs sink in. He accumulated over 4 B-WAR in 350 plate appearances in those partial seasons. Multiple insane hot streaks and a few absolute nukes along the way. These are the types of players that stick in my head sometimes. I mean, at a given moment, there's probably a 50-50 chance I'm thinking about baseball, but it's stories like these that often stick as much as the bona fide superstars' careers do. I hope you liked this video. If I was totally off base here, or if you know of a player that had more insane runs like this, let me know. Or if you just want to chill and name old baseball players, that'd be sick. Alright, till next time.